Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Draclaw44. So today I'm going to be talking about making Mirage an S-tier legend. Yes, I know we had a recent rework, and I figure that, it may well take a while for them to ever actually look at this. But you never know with Respawn, they may well look at some things and say, you know what, the Mirage, he definitely needs a little bit of a love and attention. So I'm going to be talking about that, most certainly, some new ideas and some new concepts. But before I do that, I did want to just actually say thank you to my new sponsor that I have for this video, which is, of course, the Bam Fulham Limited. They literally are in love with the Mirage sort of like artwork and all the things that go with him. So they wanted to support your local bamboozler by making sure that he is the most played and most popular character. They're literally, their aim is to have decoy control, to make sure that you're fooling unsuspecting people like in the background, and just making sure that you're having as much fun as possible. For example, a great one on this is the caustic just coming up here. Now, as you can sort of see that he's jumping down and kind of unsuspecting that there's a Mirage here. I start shooting him with an L-Star, which is completely terrible because I really don't like the gun. And then we go into a punching match. Take this, take that, take this, throw out a decoy, punch that, you're dead. Thank you. Job done. And of course, the last bit for the sponsor is throw a decoy on a jump pad. So inherit a jump pad and sponsor and a bamboozler today. And of course, that is it. So right, let's get into the video and let's see exactly what we're talking about. So jokes aside, of course, just remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Okay, so with Mirage, one thing that I would certainly say is he is a lot better. And I have mentioned this before in previous videos, and I'm sure that pretty much most of us tend to realise that he couldn't have been any worse than what he originally started out as, right? So there's always, improvements, fantastic. But then it's like, well, okay, does he need to just be left where he is? Well, he could be, and he'd still be pretty damn good. But then, you sort of feel that, like, you want all legends to sort of receive some limelight and some attention, to be really kind of just popular and just, put them to a point where everyone notices exactly what they're all about. Yes, I do realise that it's Mirage, maybe everyone just expects him to be, of the more garbage tier. But I think that there is a lot of, excellent viability for this character, and he also is one of the most fun, along with Octane, to actually play. I do know there are other legends that actually are exceptionally fun to play, so I'm only picking out two that I have most fun playing with, but a lot of others are pretty good as well, especially with the personalities and the lore. Now, something that I sort of looked at and thought, well, the buffing Lifeline in the sort of update coming tomorrow with alongside the collection event, which I'll be doing a video about when it comes out. But as regards to the decoys, I mean, the decoy control. So with the decoy control, what I would really love to see for this would be that you can control them to a much better extent. And what I mean is that one, that you could make them jump over, of course, like walls and onto objects, just to add to that extra bamboozling sort of feature, really confuse the enemy, have them wondering what the hell was going on. But also as well, being able to actually transport and actually become the decoy. So therefore, leaving people never knowing who actually was the decoy and who was the real Mirage. It would maybe need some tweaking. I'm sure that, like with anything, it would be very difficult to maybe balance this properly, but it would be really cool. And it would add to the skill cap of the character because, you would be able to control the decoy as and when you wanted. But then, of course, it would add so much more interest to the game as well, because you'd be like, well, do I shoot the decoy or is this the real person? And you never truly would know, so it would be really awesome. It would also be really cool to actually have it where the decoy actually revives the person, or one of your teammates, should I say, who's down while you continue fighting. Yes, it is taken in a way from the idea of Lifeline, but I had this idea actually before the Lifeline buff, because I suggested it in my ranking video. But of course, if you didn't watch that, you probably wouldn't have seen it. I will link it below if you're interested. But however, you know, gaining control, that would be so cool. So the actual decoy revives your teammate, leaving you to then still fight. Wouldn't that be amazing? Maybe it'd be too overpowered again, but you never know. If it was balanced correctly, I think this could be actually really interesting and really good, and add to the kind of nature of the character, because I suppose the biggest thing with Mirage is he is supposed to be a hologrammatic or holographic trickster. And he's supposed to confuse people. He's supposed to, you know, keep people on their toes. Is he throwing a decoy? Is it really him? What's going on? And that is the idea, is to cause confusion, uncertainty, doubt, all the things. And I think to myself, well, yeah, this is exactly what he's all about. And although Respawn have done most certainly an excellent job in regards to, of course, you know, reworking him up to this point, who wouldn't love to see him in a much better place? But yeah, that is what I'm thinking so far. So I've got some other ideas, of course, there, but I'll be going to those in a sec. Now, with Mirage, what I'd love to also see then is, of course, actually that his invisibility from his ultimate lasts just a little bit longer. And this just gives him just that little bit of an option to get away from a really nasty or awkward situation, and would also, you know, give you a chance to maybe just run away or to flank, I suppose, because he is an aggressive legend, let's face it, so you'd always want to kind of have the option to be able to choose. I would increase the cooldown actually on that one. I mean, alright, in an ideal world, yeah, it lasts 60 seconds, but let's face it, it's borderline between making him ultimately broken, and I'm not suggesting that all these ideas happen, because it probably would break him like Gibraltar. But don't worry, his usage is low, so it'd be fine, because no one would use him, but he'd just be overpowered. Okay, Respawn, you really need to look at your policy on that one. Anyway, certainly I would increase the cooldown to about 1.5 minutes, but I would make his invisibility last for 4 seconds instead of 2. Do just give you a bit of more option to get away and, of course, get out of those sticky situations, like I said. I would love to also see the decoys themselves firing bullets. Now, obviously, they would be blanks, so don't get me wrong. I do think that it'd be very important that they are blank bullets, because otherwise that would just be ridiculous. And the decoys would have a little amount of health. Probably about 50 health or 25 health or something like that, just to kind of, you know, really show that, you know, he was confuse people, shall we say, with the decoys. So it would get people thinking, oh my god, is this a decoy? Is it really him? It would cause them to unload maybe a clip or some bullets, and then you'd be able to strike at the right time. Absolutely would be amazing and spot on. And when the decoys are shot, what I would love to see as well is that they would give a small area scan. So a smaller area scan than what Bloodhound currently does, because that would be, again, just too OP. But like a mini scan, so like a kind of within a certain radius of where the decoy was when it was shot. So it would mean that, you know, of course, if it was shot and they shot it from a distance, you'd get maybe the voice line or the marker perhaps, but then you wouldn't necessarily see anything because they wouldn't actually be there, and a voice line as well. So it would be really cool to kind of see those things as well. Now, obviously, like I said, I mean, these are just throwing some suggestions, because I feel like Mirage is one of those legends that really should be loved. He's one of the most charismatic and interesting characters in the game. He certainly has the personality. He's different, he's fun, and he definitely is something that I think Apex is all about, and that is why he's my favourite character in the game. Now, it doesn't mean that's the reason why I want to see him buffed. In an ideal world, personally, I'd love to see every legend perfectly balanced and absolutely fine, but that probably won't ever happen because it's a game, and no company ever really gets the balancing 100% spot on, because that's just unrealistic. Well, never mind. Anyway, look, those are my suggestions for this particular video. It is a bit of fun stroke, you know, ideas. I'd love to hear some thoughts down in the comments below of what you thought and what we think would work and what could be making reasonably okay to make him S tier but not OP or ridiculous, and that would be really great. But otherwise, that is it from me on this particular video. So just remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. I shall see you on the next video, but for now, you take care. Cheers very much. Bye now.
Back over there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We wiped the squad.